House Republicans have started to pivot away from attempting to impeach President Joe Biden to impeaching Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. In their recent impeachment report, they even decided to throw in some casual racism, saying that they're engaged in the effort of, quote unquote, deporting him from his position. Quote, this committee, through these articles of impeachment, begins the process of deporting Secretary Mayorkas from his position on account of his failure to comply with his official duties, and thereby allow his position to be filled by someone willing to enforce the nation's immigration laws once again. You see? We're deporting him from his position. Get it? That's because he's an immigrant. You get it? Get it?
The
Yeah.
Republican Party's racist.
We got it. We got it. So, look, he emigrated from Cuba with his family when he was just a baby and then became a U.S. citizen. Now, wait, I thought Republicans loved Cuban refugees. Something about the whole, oh, we don't like the communisms. Well, unless they're Democrats, apparently. So, I don't know. But here's my thing, though. Republicans claim that they're attempting to impeach Mayorkas over his management of immigration policy, right? They say that he failed at the border. But the fact of the matter is that our immigration system has been broken for a very long time. And it's not going to take one person to fix it. In fact, it's going to take a group of people to fix it. That group of people is called the Congress. One of the problems with the border is there's not enough border judges to adjudicate the massive amount of asylum claims. And not only that, but you have a massive wait time for people who are attempting to come into this country illegally, which incentivizes illegal immigration. I mean, the time it takes for someone to actually become a citizen is measured in years, if not decades. It's a long time. Not only that, but the vast majority of newly undocumented immigrants are here because they overstayed their visas, not because they crossed through the southern border. A 2019 study by the Center for Migration Studies of New York, for example, which is based on 2017 data, so it's a little older, they did find that for the 7th straight year, more newly undocumented people overstayed visas than crossed the border illegally. It was 62% overstays and 38% illegal crossings. So, that said, there aren't illegal crossings, yes, but a lot of them are actually also legal crossings because of asylum claims. You actually have to be inside the border of the United States to claim asylum here. That said, Congress does need to fix this issue. Mayorkas does not create laws. He does not create new laws. He's there to enforce it. Now, Republicans know that, and so they claim he is not enforcing the laws, specifically when it comes to detaining certain migrants. Which, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but this costs money to do. It requires personnel that DHS claims Congress has refused to give them. So they also claim that Mayorkas has overstepped his authority by allowing asylum seekers into the country and allowing others to come in on a temporary basis under something called immigration parole. So again, if somebody is from a war-torn region, say immigrant from Ukraine, or somebody comes over from Ukraine and says, I need this immigration parole, then they are temporarily allowed to live and work in this country for a period of a couple of years. So usually, a couple of years. And so Biden's been letting a lot of people in using that parole. That's one thing Republicans want to crack down on. So they also claim that Mayorkas has made false statements to Congress by testifying that the border is closed and that DHS has operational control of the border. What's false about any of those statements? I mean, I know they love to claim that the border is wide open. Oh my God, open borders. No, that's a lie. We don't have open borders. I mean, you can say it all day, but it doesn't make it true. We do have a border, and people are being stopped and detained all the time on the border. In fact, I can say that there's one part that isn't, that isn't closed. In a way, and that's Eagle Pass, okay? That's a place where the Texas National Guard, has decided to deploy this razor wire, which doesn't allow DHS to actually do their job, okay? Border Patrol specifically, they're not allowed to do their job. They can't actually go and patrol the border because it's being blocked. Remember, that razor wire is on the American side, so they actually can't go to the border and detain migrants. So it's pretty ridiculous, right? That said, none of this is going to stop Republicans. For example, the fact that there's no evidence that Mayorkas committed high crimes and misdemeanors that would warrant impeachment doesn't matter. Nothing scares right-wing voters more than brown people at the border. Okay, and they will fearmonger about it, and they have. They have for as long as I've been covering and talking about politics. It's been the same old song: migrant caravans, invasion, they're coming over the border, blah blah blah. All right, but here's the thing: Republican congressmen are looking at Mayorkas as their pound of flesh, right? They want it. They want it. They want and know that Republican right-wing voters want someone to be punished for these imagined crimes, for a brown person actually getting into this country and claiming asylum. And these politicians, they want any kind of political win, even if it's not an actual win. Look, Mayorkas is not going to be removed even if there is a vote. And even if it's a successful vote, you still actually have to, go through the Senate as well. They know this, Republicans do, and they will campaign on this. Oh, look at the Democrats refusing to get rid of Mayorkas, who's refusing to do his job. You know it. Again, all of this is to try to prop up Donald Trump, who is a monster on immigration. His policies are incredibly monstrous, especially with what he plans to do in his rhetoric. And so they just want to prop up Trump so that Trump wins the election and then can appoint someone to this position who is going to be monstrous. Imagine like a Stephen Miller, running DHS. Yeah, it would be horrifying for anybody who is an immigrant, or is a migrant, or anything. So that said, this got response on social media. In fact, the House Judiciary Democrat said, "These are not serious people." Another said, "Of course they use that word," going back to DEPORT. Someone tweeted in response to Ian Sams, quote, "It helps incite the cult members. Republicans, if your name isn't Johnson, then you're a foreigner." Another wrote, "Mayorkas is an immigrant, so this language is just a low bar from House Republicans. The bar was, however, already on the ground." So, look, this entire thing, the language in this was 100% intentional. It was never about policy. Like everything the Republican Party seems to be doing here is just a way to try to own the libs with racism.